this meeting to order.
Okay.
We got 9:58. Announcements, board reorganization.
Yeah, I can talk to this a little bit. This will also tie into our discussion for the minutes. Our last meeting was a while ago. I can't recall. Did we hold off on voting for new positions?
I think nobody wanted to take mine, but we wanted to hold off on the co-chair because the co-chair was not here. And we wanted to give the co-chair the option of whether she
Opting
wanted to
out.
run again or
Okay.
if we were gonna draft somebody else in.
And I have in my notes that...
But we can put mine up for if anybody else wants it.
This is a
You're
good
doing a
thing.
great
Everybody's
job.
here.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And then Nancy, I believe you renewed your
Yes, I
term,
did.
correct?
Yep.
Matt, did you do the same or did you get a notification? I can't remember if we took.
Oh, yeah, no, I did that back in,
Did. Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
back in June or whatever it was.
I know, so much time has passed. I want to
Yeah,
just make sure
no,
we're all
I
on the same
did
page.
it right at shortly after I got
Board
the
reorganization
email.
stuff.
So,
we need a new
No, I
chair,
had
new
trouble
vice
finding
chair.
one.
I'll keep the same, we just have to vote on it.
Would you like to guide us through the nomination process?
For the vice chair, do we have a nomination for a vice chair?
I believe I was the vice chair, but I'm not interested in doing that anymore.
Okay.
So,
If we don't have a nomination, do we have a volunteer for the vice chair?
I'll do it.
Anyone else? All in favor of Matt? Aye. Unanimous, Matt.
Welcome back, Matt.
Oh, Lord.
I was the chair for 2 years.
With that being said, next month I will be in Canada for a couple weeks, so you'll...
So you're asking me to join you up there?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can discuss that with my wife. So I will be gone from September 30 until the 15th, and I believe
Okay.
there's 2 Mondays early that month that I will not be here.
where in Canada are you going?
We are doing a road trip going through New Brunswick into Prince Edward Island, then a big loop around Nova Scotia.
St.
We're going to be
Lawrence
staying in
Seaway.
7 different hotels, 13 nights.
Have fun.
So,
Nice
yeah.
trip.
and I love when you reserve the rooms and it says $180 and you look at it American and it's only $120. And it's kind of nice. Still cost me the same, but it has that little nice feeling. Okay, programming updates.
Excellent.
It's too hot.
So we had a number of programs throughout the summer, but I had provided an update at our June meeting of some of the stuff that we had on the horizon. The Brain Builders program that we had ran through a collaboration with a nonprofit on the South Shore went really well. They are seeking grant funding for the fall. We are hanging tight to see if we'll be in queue to run that again. In the meantime, we are working with our community paramedicine program to offer community CPR, which is always a really hot topic and program of interest, particularly for the seniors. That registration is online on the program portal that we use through our department. It'll be run on 9/20, which I believe is a Saturday at 10 a.m. There is a nominal fee, I believe it's $35, but if you were to take a CPR course elsewhere, we usually run closer to the tune of about $100. And it's taught by local firefighters. Additionally, we've scheduled a Lifeline program that'll be hosted at Frothingham Hall on 9/22 at 1 p.m. This is a medical alert information class that will focus on fall prevention, home safety, which weaves into some of our priorities for community health and well-being. Things like this can also help reduce some of the burden on firefighters if seniors in the community are able to identify and spot trouble before something bad happens around their home. That's going to be run by a local business, which will be great, at no charge to residents.
What day of the week is that? It's Monday or Tuesday?
The 22nd would likely
No, it's Monday.
be, well, the first of the month was a Monday, so I think it might be a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Monday, I'm flying that day.
I will absolutely trust you, yeah, it's Monday,
And that's when, the 20th?
22nd.
22nd at 1 p.m. And September will be a fairly quiet month for us. That's all the programming updates I have.
What is the movie day?
The movie day?
Yeah.
Those are our minutes from the
Oh.
last program. So that program
Hello.
was run in partnership with.
Who's doing a good job?
With the community mental health liaison. It was part of a mental health and well-being initiative.
Okay. Minutes from last meeting? Guess we'll just jump right through.
Correct me if I'm wrong, particularly for the board position, we confirmed Jim as the chair, but then I believe I had made a mistake on the notes for a vice chair, and I listed Donna as a placeholder. So we can approve the minutes with that revision. I'll take out Donna's name, just say we only arrived at a formal election for Jim as the chair, and that we can approve it once the minutes are revised and sent to our new chair, our new vice chair and chair.
Everyone good with that?
Let's do that.
So somebody will need to motion to approve the minutes with a revision clarifying the vice chair election.
I will do that.
So moved,
I
okay.
don't think you're allowed to do that, are you?
Yeah.
Second?
I said,
Everybody seconded.
Excellent, which means it's unanimous.
All in favor?
aye.
We're good. Unanimous. Turn this down. I thought I had it all the way down. Sounded like a rattlesnake, didn't it? Gotta
What is
make sure there's nothing underneath.
We're on staff notes, I believe.
Staff notes.
Staff notes. So I have a note from our financial assistance team members. This is regarding the Massachusetts Circuit Breaker Tax Credit. Are folks familiar with the Circuit Breaker Tax Credit?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. So this is a program offered by the state that the town had opted into in 2023. The town filed a petition which gives seniors a avenue to get a real estate tax exemption. It's based on your means, your income, and this was voted in a town meeting as a result of the debt exclusion for the public safety and DPW facilities. So there is now a clause that allows seniors to get back a significant portion of their property tax. Let me get my notes here. So some of the eligibility requirements: you must be 65 or older. If you're a co-owner, you must be 60 years or older, starting in the new year. You must have owned your property in Easton for at least 10 consecutive years. It's based on state income tax returns, where you must have claimed the circuit breaker tax credit in 2024. And then the annual income limits for single filer is $72,000. A head of household is $91,000, and married couples is $109,000. In total, the total asset limit for this is $1.172 million. Last meeting we had spoke about the town's financial assistance webpage that was paired with the override proposal from May, and how we put together and accumulated a number of financial resources. This page also hosts the application form for this that will go through our department. Applications are due by the end of the month, with notifications on the status being provided the 1st of December to see if you qualify. If you have questions, I'm happy to take them. I may have to refer them through our financial assistance team.
This circuit breaker is a town one, not the state one. This is different.
Yep.
You just named it the same.
Yeah, well, it's a state program that
I know what
we-
the state
yeah, we
circuit
filed a
breaker
petition
is,
to be a part
because
of.
that I didn't think towns opted into. That was a state program. And it doesn't matter if you file state taxes or not. You can get the circuit breaker if you meet the other requirements.
So are you saying there's two circuit breaker
There's a
programs?
state circuit breaker program, and then I know the town one, because I don't think I qualified for it.
And they're independent of each other?
The state circuit breaker is based on income, property value, and your taxes, a percentage of your taxes. You have, your property taxes have to be a certain percentage of, this has been like 4 years since
It's
I've
about
done this.
10%. If you pay more than 10% of your
Of your
income and property
income
tax.
in property taxes. It's up to a certain amount of money that you're qualified for. Even renters can qualify for the state circuit breaker.
So you apply for it
Through the state, when you do your taxes, and you
When
can
you
go,
do your
when you do
taxes.
your taxes, the person, whoever does your taxes should know about it and see if you qualify.
And for this one?
This is
when
a
you do
town
your
one,
taxes?
which
It's a
is
local
just named the
application.
same, so I got confused.
It's a local application.
Is this the one where you have to volunteer, so you have to work so many hours for and so on?
That is the tax work-off program.
Okay.
That,
You can see the-
Are you eligible for both?
I
I
believe so.
assume you could get both if you qualify, I don't know. I mean, I didn't qualify for the state one. I didn't qualify for the state one,
Yeah,
and I don't think I qualify for this.
So
interesting.
if you don't qualify for the state one, you don't qualify for
Not
this one, is that correct?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I would say that
Yeah.
a lot of these programs, that there is overlap and there's synergy. I would say that in most cases, it's beneficial just to talk to the financial assistance team because your unique
Okay.
circumstances may exclude you from one program, but maybe not another. And if you are excluded from one program, there may be alternative options for you to get involved with.
And who would that be?
So Tracy Levine is my counterpart within our department. She is the Deputy Director for Financial Assistance and Veteran Services. She will be able to answer any and all questions.
She sits in the lobby.
So
Her
that would
secret
be,
desk is at the lobby behind the glass panel.
that's Elisa. So Lisa is a part of her team. She is also very helpful and knowledgeable about these programs.
I plan on calling her.
You should.
No.
Why not?
And you may have mentioned this, but clarify, where is this publicized so that the general public
Yes,
knows
good
about it?
Yeah, there is a financial resource page under the residents tab on Easton's webpage.
I will say, I do not find Easton, the Town of Easton's webpage particularly easy to navigate.
I agree. I don't
I
think it's
agree
easy to
also.
navigate in the least. It
Yeah.
takes,
Forever
It's-
to find what you want.
exactly, especially that residence, that's it's unwieldy at times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information to put out there to people, and I think as people who design it versus people who try to navigate it,
Yeah.
it'll always be a little bit tricky to try to
Yeah.
perfect it.
This circuit breaker thing though, it was in the town crier, that weekly email that comes out. Do you get that?
Yeah. I didn't notice it though.
No, I would like it to be easily accessible to everyone who might qualify for it.
Is it in the newsletter also?
It will be in the newsletter.
The coordinator, is that, and if it could be like advertised at places like the library or the beanery or places where people hang, just, do you agree? I would like everyone who could benefit to be
Yeah.
informed of it. And not everyone has an accountant, so I guess the message is to contact Tracy
My,
Yeah.
well, and also my taxes are done through AARP, the tax aid program that they have, the free tax aid program for
That's
seniors.
mine has been.
And
Last couple of
the
years,
person who
it's been
did it
great.
just automatically went to see if I qualified for the state circuit breaker
Yeah,
last year, so the
Yeah.
AARP people are aware of
yeah.
it.
They do it
But
free?
Did you have Evelyn or?
We offer a free-
Evelyn
we
or
offer a
Mr.
free
No, I
program.
went in
AARP
actually in
does?
Sharon, because
Yeah,
that's
we
where I
partner with
worked,
them.
and they had all my things, and I just, it's easy for me.
I do agree with you though, that town website is,
Maybe
Sometimes
they
I
need a web designer, a new person to,
yeah, it's,
We like
it's,
And I take your point that there's so much information. However, in this day and age, there are many websites that have, lots of information that are easier. I've gone on looking for election results and
yeah.
you just give up.
3 days later, yeah.
Why do you
It's
give up?
hard. It's not an easy,
Every time I get on it looking for something, it seems I go in a circle.
Right.
Exactly.
ended back where I started. and-
Yep.
Which is very frustrating.
Yes.
Mhm.
Can that be brought back to whomever?
Yeah, I always share our notes from these meetings with the Director for Health and Community Services. I think we always strive to update the website, but I will see if we can maybe take a different lens at it and see if we can
But it,
navigate it
I
from a
don't think
resident
it, I
perspective.
think it isn't just you and health and that whatever. I think it needs to go back to the town,
Mhm.
and whoever built the website. And I don't know who that would be.
So I can talk a little bit about the website more in depth. So the town uses a commercial service through this company called Revise. Revise, based on how their software is designed, it puts certain constraints on how you can format the website. So starting from the bat, we are limited to how we can create pages, how we can organize information, how it presents, and then for some things, Google can't scrape the information from the website. So if you Google Town of Easton election results, if Google doesn't connect with that website properly, it won't be able to pluck the information and help you with the search. Within the website itself, if there were specific issues that you had picked up on that I can take back to share, I can try to provide that feedback, but without a specific example, it might be hard. But those are sort of just like a foundational piece about the website and what we can and can't do. Does that make sense?
Well,
It's-
I tried to find out
Yeah, we
when
don't have a
those
ton of
stupid
creativity
lights were
with it.
gonna be workable, and I
What was
couldn't. I tried to Google, find on the website about the construction and the lights on 106 and Buchanan Street.
So
I
that-
couldn't
That's a good
find it at
example.
all.
That is actually a state project, so it's not something the town manages, or the state doesn't necessarily liaise with us about what they'll be doing for the project. That would be a DOT question.
Is each department responsible for updating their information through
Yep.
this Revise or whatever?
Yep.
So you would send the information to Revise and they put it on, or?
So each department head can log in and manage the web page within the structure that we're allowed to. There's only so much creativity you can do.
Dump from Revise.
Yeah,
Goals.
right, we need to revise.
Exactly.
Right.
That's clever.
And maybe just, I don't know specifically, but you had mentioned that the residence page is hard to negotiate.
Mm,
Maybe that would be a starting
The
place.
drop down tab.
Yep.
Is there something that you? I'm not trying to
Like
pry, but is there something
the-
particular you were looking for?
Well, the one thing that's easy is when you go to the pay your taxes, pay your excise tax, pay all that stuff on.
Yeah.
That's easy. But anything else, like if you try and find information about the different boards, it goes by so fast. Like the departments thing, that's another one that you can't, it doesn't allow you to stay on the topic that you want to be on and explore that. There are parts of it that move too fast and parts of it that just, as you said, you're in a circle constantly. And I can't give you more example than, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry to put you on the spot.
No,
I'm
no.
sure you didn't think the conversation would end up in this spot. Would you, maybe for the next meeting, be willing to bring constructive feedback
Well, the
if
thing
you
is,
go into the
I'm
website?
not going to be here in October. I'm going to be in California, so I can't.
Yeah.
But,
Well, maybe we could all, if we have an opportunity to go on to the town website, just take some notes about what our experience is.
Yeah, I'd say across the
okay,
board,
I
that's
can do
always
that,
welcome
and
feedback.
I'll email you.
It's not time
Okay.
sensitive, so if it was November, that's fine too.
Okay.
Is that company used throughout the state, or is that Easton specific?
So each town contracts with a unique website provider. Hiring a software engineer to design and maintain your web page wouldn't be really cost effective. So it's really town by town. Some towns use Revise, some towns use it's called Civic. It's an extension of like the Civic website.
I'm just wondering if anyone has experience with another town's website, and is
exactly,
it
yeah.
easier in another town? That
And
would be
then,
informative.
and then follow their example.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone on to other towns.
I have a question getting back to the circuit breaker program, you mentioned 10 years, same address. Is that 10 years in the same home or 10 years in the community?
So my notes word it specifically as must have owned and occupied a residence in Easton for at least 10 consecutive
Okay,
years.
so a resident, so if somebody downsized and moved across town,
Yeah.
then they're still eligible as long as they've been a resident for 10 years.
Yeah, mine doesn't
Okay.
explicitly
I-
say otherwise.
I just want a clarification on that, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Is this information well publicized with the folks in the community where you live?
Well, nobody there owns
Oh,
any
that's true, it's
property
different.
because we're in the subsidized housing. So
But
we don't
you
have to
said it
worry
was-
about taxes and,
So this is property tax that we're talking about.
Property
yeah.
tax.
Yeah.
So then how would that apply? You said it applies to rentals as well.
I did not say that.
The state
Okay,
circuit
then I missed
breaker
the
applies
state-
to rentals, not necessarily the town one.
Okay, so I misunderstood. Thank you.
Okay.
The only other staff note I have is I will be out for a good portion of November and December. My wife and I are expecting, which is really exciting. So
Congratulations.
we just, thank you. So we may need to just consider when we schedule the November meeting, so I can be present.
Congrats.
Thank you. I
That's
think we should,
wonderful.
I'm sure we could do earlier, late.
we'll do Zoom again.
Yeah.
Gene loves Zoom meetings.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Zoom either, so.
That's okay.
I
But I at least
don't
wanted-
like it.
I at least wanted to give a little bit of proactive notice. But thank
Congratulations.
you all.
You first?
Wonderful.
Our first, yeah, little girl.
Yay.
We're very excited, and it's what I was hoping for.
Very good.
Yeah, and in March, I will have my first grandchild.
It's amazing too.
So, yeah, yeah, it sure is.
And I have
My
a
brother and sister are my age of
5-month-old
great-grandparents.
grandson for you when you're ready. He's already working, he's model.
Yeah.
This kid makes more money per hour than I ever did.
Do we have any member notes? Oh, I'm sorry, you done with
I'm
the
all
staff
set,
notes?
yes, thank you.
Any member notes?
Got a question. I know we meet here, but, and we don't, and it's publicized and we don't have anybody show up at our meetings. Could we take it on the road and say, go up to Parker Terrace and Elise Circle and have one up at their community to see if anybody has any questions for us?
Certainly.
It's a
As
great
long as,
idea.
as long as it's posted in advance.
Okay, I'm just, you know,
Yeah, it's absolutely allowed.
yeah, okay.
As long as the space is reservable. So we have to email the library in advance and
Right,
say, can you hold a spot for us? But there's no reason we couldn't say, you know, Housing Authority, could you host us for a
yeah.
meeting in the future?
I mean, they have the building, they have, you know, the tables and stuff and,
When are you thinking?
no, I don't know, I'm just,
Okay.
I don't know, I just was kind of tossing it out, because at this point, we got 2 people gonna be missing next meeting.
And one the following, and
Yeah, and, you know, we lose one more, 2 more, we don't have a quorum, so,
I might be out. I'll have to check my schedule. I get 13 weeks of therapy that I have to have done, and it's always on Mondays.
Okay.
I couldn't get it any other time.
We can always change the dates of the meeting too. I know people had discussed wanting to go back to Frothingham
Yeah.
Hall.
Is there any possibility of that?
We can. I know Jim mentioned that with your personal schedule, we would want to aim for Mondays. Mondays overlaps with the art program that goes till, I think, noon. So that would just be something that we would need to keep in mind.
I'm sure if need be, I can reschedule some of the things I'm doing. I've got some changes going on
Okay.
with things, so
So that-
I'm sure I can work that in.
Scheduling is always up to the board. I can try to make myself available.
Are there other people on the board who aren't here today, or are we it?
Or a full house.
Seven,
This is it?
Yeah.
And how many people are needed for a quorum?
4.
Do you have a day in mind that would work better for you?
Oh, no, the day of the week doesn't really matter so much. I kind of miss being at Frothingham for meetings, that's the only thing.
Can you find out what days we would have access?
Yeah, I could
I
email.
know Monday we did not have access at Frothingham.
We could. It would need to be early afternoon though. It would need to be, which is not.
Thursday worked better for me than Mondays.
I can send out some times via email, and if people want to reconcile their personal calendars, we can figure something out for October.
Can everybody available early afternoons?
Some days, I mean, I have some pre-scheduled, like everybody else, doctor's appointments
Right.
and stuff, but.
Change them. No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean,
I know about that. Yeah, it wait another 8 months.
Thursdays I can't do.
I'm sorry?
Gene?
Thursdays.
Thursdays don't work for you?
No, Fridays don't work for me.
We're down to Tuesday and Wednesday. Do I hear a day that doesn't work?
Gene, is that good for you? Is that good for you? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah.
Well, if you can see what we can
Tuesday
work
or
out for
Wednesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday. I think as long as I have enough notice in advance, I can reschedule all my things.
Do they drop goodies off up there on Tuesdays? That's why you wanna go back.
It's not.
They used to have the free bakery stuff you could pick up on the way out.
Yeah, we still have that.
So are there, nothing new in terms of the classes or, no new?
Not at the moment, not at the moment.
No new, anything, no?
It is a little challenging with the financial backdrop, but if we do have an opportunity to offer anything, I'll let you all know.
Can you give us an update on the finances and how you cannot?
No, there's no new updates yet.
But are you finding Council on Aging has been impacted on the override that didn't take place?
I think everybody's been impacted. I would say yes, moderately, particularly with funding for things like special events. We're hoping to grow some of that. I think we might be at the same number, if not fewer for this year. I'm hoping that's the extent of it, but in the next month we'll be looking at our financial situation for the remainder of this year and then looking into next year. I think we've all heard sort of the discussion of what to expect if the override didn't pass, and I think a lot of that stuff will hold true. So maybe more updates to come in October or November.
What about in terms of federal funding for the state, for the city, the town? Did the town lose federal money?
That is a good question. I would say Massachusetts probably should not rely on federal funding.
For anything?
At least not for the things that we are concerned with.
One other question, a while back, a survey went out about how to use, or maybe there was a meeting, how to use some of the properties that are being changed, like the police and fire and
Matt, Joe, and I were at that meeting, and we all pushed for some help for the Council on Aging. And some of the feedback, there were a couple selectmen there, some of the feedback from them was, we can make money off of these properties, so they don't want to. So I mentioned to Joe earlier, next time there's something like that, we have to sit near the end, so we're the last people they come to, so we know what the argument's going to be. We introduced what we wanted to say first, then other people were able to, you're laughing at it, other people say, we can't do that because of this. Well, next time I know we sit on the other end, so if it happens
You said
again.
that we could make money off it, meaning
The town
sell
is saying
buildings, or?
that they could sell the buildings, or they could use it for things where they could rent it out and so on, and not put any of their finances towards helping us get a better or larger building.
In Framingham, there's this, they closed a school, and there was a debate about whether they were going to sell it off to a builder. And the mayor stepped in and turned it into a community center for kids, basketball after school. It was just such a nice thing, so forward thinking and good for building community, I thought. And it didn't really, it did cost the town money, but they didn't sell it off.
One of the responses was, Central School?
Oh, God.
That there is some talk about something being done for us there, but it's been bought by a private person. So my question was, well, if there's something for us there, is it something to be donated or something we would have to pay to be there or rent and so on? And I didn't get a response on that. So they said at this time they weren't sure what was going to go on.
So why is not considering going in there? I think that was a discussion.
Yeah, that was brought up also. And I mean,
I'm on the one of the boards of the governance board of the Eastern Y, and that has been abandoned. It was just way too expensive. They didn't have,
What I-
There's asbestos in there.
What I heard repeatedly is we need a place where people can gather and have coffee together, and I was thinking there's 8 places in Easton that already have coffee where you can sit down. So I don't know what the plan's gonna be. I'm sure you don't know what the plan's gonna be yet either.
If you don't know, I have a feeling nobody knows, actually.
It was bought by a private developer, didn't they have to say kind of what
That's-
they wanted to do?
That's what I thought I heard when they first said there was plans, talk about Council on
Did that
Aging
s-
having it, if private developer,
it's
Did that
planned,
sale
whether it
actually
would-
go through?
yeah, I don't know.
and it's
No.
This is
my
what, 3 months
understanding-
ago, so.
The last that I heard, the property was being negotiated, but there was no final sale. That would be a for-profit location.
Yeah, it was Rosa's son, Rosa, the,
Baker?
yeah, the one that has the place on 106.
Yeah.
Rosa's, I don't know what it's called, Rosa's Kitchen, whatever. But that didn't,
Not to my knowledge.
I remember at a meeting, it was decided that it had to be something for recreation, that it couldn't be for condos, and I believe the interest was to build a indoor soccer stadium.
yeah, soccer or something.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
some sort of sport complex based on the last proposal that I knew of that was addressed at town meeting. I'm not sure where it
The new
currently stands.
construction has turned that into a really hot property right now, I think. I think there's gonna be so much traffic through that area with police and fire and community and stuff. I bet he got it for a song. I bet he got it for a song. Well,
So regarding programming, something that I would love to see happen that wouldn't cost money, I don't believe. I'd like to see how we, the Council on Aging, could bring in some other nonprofits and do a presentation, either here at our meeting or at Frothingham. And some of the things that I'm thinking of, like someone present from RMK, Raising Multicultural Kids. I would love for, there are so many things going on in town, and I would like for there to be more centralized in some way so that we knew about it. So Raising Multicultural Kids, We Do Care, do you know what that is? We Do Care, it is a nonprofit for families who have lost one of their, the husband or the wife, and they support, they call, instead of widows, they call them warriors, and they have a lot of programming. There's, is it called Winds of Hope, the, for
Drugs.
for, do I have the right name?
I think Wings of
Yeah,
Hope.
the Wings of Hope.
Wings of Hope, right, not Winds of Hope. Wings of Hope, and also there's the HRC, the Human Rights Commission. I think that the more that those organizations know about the older population, I think they could include more. So I know that they're always looking, various organizations are always looking for volunteers, so it could be a two-way. Do you understand? Like, I think it would be great to have Kelly Lamb come or Denise Lane come and do a presentation that, I don't know, do you think people would be interested? And it wouldn't cost money to bring these people in.
I think people would be interested, yeah. If you have their contact information, you'd be willing to share it with me, I can reach out and see if that's something in the fall or early winter they'd be interested in.
I mean, I have this,
They have a Facebook page.
I do have Kelly Lamb and Denise, and we have, I'm forgetting her name, the We Do Care person. I don't for some of the others. I sort of a fantasy I have would be to have a volunteer opportunity and have different speakers from different agencies, whether it be even the Y.
that's a nice idea.
You know, because I
Are you
think
talking just for us, or are you talking to try and do something
For the
where
community.
we could, for the community
for
to
the
open it up?
community, like look for opportunities where you could volunteer. I think a lot of seniors are looking for ways to be helpful, and if we could have a panel discussion and have a number of different organizations. Something wide that I did that I really wish more people would learn about is they have a mentoring program, and it's pretty wonderful. It's a big commitment.
Mentoring students, mentoring who?
Mentoring children between the ages of 9 to 18.
So kind of like Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
That's right, and it's fabulous. I did it. I did it for 5 years, and it was so impressive the way the Y did it, in that I was thoroughly vetted. They weren't going to let me spend time alone with a child unless they knew I was a safe, reliable person. And then I had a 5-week training program, and then there were very strict criteria. I could never bring the person to my home. And every month I had to submit a log of what I did, and someone checked. It just was very impressive of how well supervised it is. And there are people in Easton, children who are looking for mentors. It's a big commitment because you have to commit to 2 hours a week for the first year, and then it depends on what you work out. But
And you meet the kids in a neutral spot, like at the Y, or where do you meet the kids?
it's up to you. You work that out with the child and the child's caretaker. So I just think it's my experience, particularly when people retire, that they're looking for opportunities to get involved, and they don't know how or how to do that. So to have sort of a volunteering clearinghouse, I think that would be like a wonderful thing that the Council on Aging could do to serve retired folks.
Something we could sponsor and then have, like some evening, people come in, open it up to the community to come in and learn about it.
Right.
Sponsored by the Council on Aging. I think that's a good idea.
Kind of like a fair,
Right.
a volunteer fair.
Right.
What do you think about adding that to the town website? How they have the volunteers for all the various boards. What about doing it something like what she's talking about that's not government related, and adding that, just like a posting page for things of that nature? I think that might be that, because that's a central spot. Not everybody comes to Frothingham, Yeah.
I don't know what the requirements are to be on the town website. I don't know if,
It might need to be.
right, but I think it's a great
But
idea.
it's a nonprofit.
If we could set something up like that with a few months' notice, we could put it in the monthly mailing and let some of the people know we're gonna do something one night, a chance to come and learn about that. Would you be willing to work on that and start working, getting it going?
Yeah, I'm really talking of extemporaneously. I don't have.
It's the first step, one step at a time,
Right,
first
but,
step.
I
First step is you talked about it, second step is, yeah, I'll do it.
right.
Third step is we agree to help
I
you.
think, do you agree that a lot of retired folks are looking for opportunities to get involved?
I do.
When
I think that's.
I retired, I sat at home, I was like, okay, so now what do I do? I
Right.
would have loved an opportunity to.
I went back to work because I was
feel
bored.
that way.
My wife went back to work because she was bored.
Yeah.
I will say that the flip side of this for nonprofits is that often volunteers create more work than they provide a service for. The mentoring, that is already, it's funded, they get state funding there's a head of mentoring who is, I know she would in a heartbeat come and talk to what that involves.
But it all ties back to what you were saying about having like an open house with representatives from these various groups, just speaking about what their organization does and what the volunteer opportunities might be with each one, I don't, like with raising multicultural kids, I don't know. They do some things in the schools, but not, it was more donating of books and things. I thought fundraising and then books. I don't know beyond that.
Yeah,
That might be what some people would prefer to do, rather than do something one-on-one with somebody.
But that's the point is to let that
Give them the options,
Yeah,
give people
information
options. Yeah.
sharing, basically, right?
you know, at the very, very least, to let people know that, and again, it has a fundraising bent to it, but many of these organizations are always looking for in-kind donations. So if people have tickets to a Red Sox game and they
Mhm.
can't go, there are always, some
Right.
kids, a family, or, a gift certificate to, name it, I don't, even the Children's Museum. But you're right, the volunteering opportunities for,
For whatever.
but I know for We Do Care, they have events for children who have lost a parent. They'll probably have a Halloween party, and they will look for people to help organize it and to, I don't know what they do, maybe one of those trunk events,
Yeah.
I have been struck by how much goes on in this town, but there, from my perspective, there's a lack of coordination. I went to the meeting on the Human Rights Commission. I'm not on that commission. I just wanted to see what happened, what it was about, and it was, and that is through the state, through government. It is the Human Rights Commission, and I actually brought your name up, and they were talking a lot about kids and schools and families, but they never mentioned the seniors and, human rights and ageism and the way that
We're a
ageism.
forgotten group.
No, seriously. Right?
No, I'm not joking. I really
Right.
are.
Yeah, and
And that's a shame because I looked into it. The 65 plus in the town of Easton is over 18% of the population. And by the year 2030, we'll be over 20% of the population. And it does seem we're.
And it never was mentioned through the human rights. It wasn't, and I mean, they were lovely people and they're doing good work. But it is, I think somehow, the rights of elders, right?
And
needs
the
to be-
interesting thing is the elders are the ones that vote consistently,
Yeah.
at every election. They always turn out because they're very interested in, and in politics. And so to forget about them is not right.
Something, I could, whether we had that kind of open fair, what I think it would be interesting to have, this is, I don't think it's the right word, but like a lecture series, lecture being people coming in from these various organizations to have a session about what is RMK about, what is the HRC, Human Rights Commission about, what is We Do Care or Wings of Hope to, because I know these folks can stand up and talk at great length about what they're doing, and it's pretty interesting. That's a different, a different take on the volunteer fair. They're both important ideas. So I've talked enough.
Do a good job.
Okay. Anything else? Just real quick, if anybody has any ideas of somebody they would want to come in to talk to us here for a monthly meeting, if you have any ideas of something going on, send me an email. We'd love to get some ideas and having someone here for presentations. I'm not good at figuring that stuff out, and Joe's done most of it, but so if any of you have any ideas of someone with the community or something, you'd like to come in for a small presentation, or maybe that could be the beginning, is somebody coming in, one of the things you mentioned, presenting to us, then we start working on it from there. Just send me an email and let us know, and we'd look into getting something like that started.
One quick question, Joe. Are the Lions gonna be doing their meal?
It's always a hot topic with you. Yeah, they are.
They're back to it. I know
April.
they missed it for a few years, and they said they were gonna, when I tried to get them to come over to Elise, well, we got something planned for the fall for,
They have it in April on the patio again.
in April.
April.
Okay. So
Which I
you're switching
believe
again
when I
from
first
the fall.
started was the typical timeline for it.
What is this, the auction?
There was a senior cookout, which they had catered, which wasn't a cookout, but, you know, that's the way they did things. Because they lost the kitchen down, and you couldn't do anything on there, so
Who lost the kitchen?
the Frothingham Hall,
Uh,
that's now an office, or storage, or something,
That's the tech center right now.
yeah.
So are we gonna look into getting Wednesday, what did we say, Tuesday or Wednesday? Or Wednesday
Yeah,
or Thursday?
Tuesday
Tuesday or Wednesday, we can look
right?
into that for next month, you can get
Absolutely.
back to us. So we'd be looking either the 7th or 8th of October. And like I said earlier, I will be out of
Yeah, I
country
won't
for
be
that,
there.
so Matt will be in charge.
And I don't know my availability over through December. I'm going to be spending time in DC doing some childcare. That's needed.
Granny nanny, just like me.
And you'll be out of town the same time?
I'm gonna be gone from the 22nd of September to the 14th of October.
Okay.
And then again around Thanksgiving and, you know.
We're not gonna have a meeting on Thanksgiving, so
Well,
that's,
yeah, but my Thanksgiving kind of stretches from a week
So,
before,
if
a week
I'm-
after.
If I'm hearing folks right, Marjorie, did you say you were out in December or October?
My availability, October through really the end of December is to be determined.
Okay. And if you two won't be here the
Like, I
first week
might
of
be here, but I
October,
don't
Right.
know.
we may be tight to get to a quorum.
well, we wanna do the end of October, and then you're not gonna be available in
Yeah,
November.
one more meeting.
We wanna plan something closer to the end of October,
Can
would
we
that
do
work
that?
for
Yeah, I
everybody?
can throw out some dates late October.
Okay.
Everybody, no, I don't see anyone saying no,
Okay.
that
And
works.
you talking about the mornings or the afternoon?
I can throw out a number of times since it'll be a little bit off schedule, just to make sure we can get most of the folks that'll be.
End of October, no.
So we don't
I
have to.
may be
Still have
available,
a
I am going down on Saturday for an undetermined amount of time, and then I am
Understood.
available as needed, so I will get my marching orders.
I hope that works out for you, whatever.
I'm right there with you, I understand.
Are
Take-
are your grandkids local, or do you travel?
No, they're California and Nevada.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got one going off to college at the end of September, and then I've got some younger ones that I've got to be with while the parents do something else for the other side of the family, so.
I'll take a motion to adjourn. Second,
Second, third, fourth, fifth?
Marjorie and everyone else. Thank you, and we'll figure out when in October we'll be here.
See each other in October.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you all.